Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It is me, Dukect, here with you on this not Wednesday but Thursday night. The reason why it is because my internet wanted to be a little bit wonky. I was gonna start a little earlier tonight, but hey, the internet was a bit of a fighting too. But you know what? I fought it and I won because that's how I roll, ladies and gentlemen. That's how I roll. Dukect, you might delay, but you know what? We keep fighting. Anyway, but you know what? We're here. We're live. And now let's get to the issue here, ladies and gentlemen. Let us get to the issue at hand of what I was going to talk about this evening, this last evening, because it is something that, you know what, it's been, something that's been way ahead, ladies and gentlemen, something that has been, I was going to talk about Fight the Fallen, but, that stuff. It concerns AEW. It concerns Impact. It concerns the pro wrestling world as we know it and such. And that is where you look at the, you look at the, uh, you look at what these ratings are. Where you see right here from Bleacher Reports is WWE Raw ratings tumble to historic lows ahead of Extreme Rules pay-per-view. The horror show, everybody, as they keep saying and stuff here. And we'll be talking about that. We're going to be talking about that stuff. We're going to be talking. Is it showing? Let's see if it's showing. Let's see. It's not showing. Let's just go and stop here. Okay, stop. All right. See if it works. I want to make sure everything is working here because Lord knows I don't want to be, going off on this stuff. So, all right, there they are. All right, let me try this again. All right, let me share the screen and boom. There we are. See if we can work it here. See if we can share the screen and let's see if it works this time. Because I want to share this. I want to talk about this subject because it's just. I'm not really surprised. It's not a truly surprise, and there it is. It's not a surprise. When you look what WWE has been going through these past years. And it says right here the increase over what it just was the week before was 1.6, second lowest. And now it is 1.5. What does that tell you about how bad this show has become? How bad the wrestling has it become? The show, the pro wrestling has become such and this is someone said, oh, about the pandemic. No. NASCAR has had its highest ratings in years because of the pandemic. And other shows have been doing so well. And you have to sit and wonder that maybe wrestling has gotten to a point that the niche that they've been following, since honestly, I believe they have been following the damaging niche, which it is. The WWE has been following in this dangerous path of the niche for I honestly since probably about 2007 or 8. You know, when you had the indies and people coming out, the punks, the Bryans, and everyone else there. And not to fault those guys. I mean, they're not terrible. I don't think they're bad or whatever. They have a way of connection, but they weren't at the time. They weren't actually being a really big. What was the draws of people following attention around the time of like Punk and Daniel Bryan and all these other people? What was the draws around that time? What was it? Look at what was selling at that time, ladies and gentlemen. What was it? What was the big thing that was selling around that time? 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, and it's still selling today. What is it? Superheroes. Big market stuff. Weird, crazy things. Live action comic book stuff, which is wrestling's bread and butter. Let's move this here. You get this, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, and honestly, they have like good stuff here. I mean, Sasha Banks and Bailey taking on the Kabuki Warriors. All these four ladies are greatly talented, but they haven't helped. What does that tell you about the what does that tell you about these characters? What does it tell you about the people there? They have no connection. Same thing. Sasha Baszler comes back, which is okay, fine. You know, and I think she was hurt by that. I mean, honestly, I would have Baszler beat Becky Lynch. Why did they didn't do that? Because of reasons I don't know. And now, yeah, it's just it is this whole thing. They need something, and what does this you look at this, they say they need someone like this, they need Baszler, they need something to really drive the ratings up, and I don't think Baszler can do it. I don't think um, no one can really do it at this point. um, I don't know. I don't know um, who can do it. Hold on one quick second, ladies and gentlemen. Dad? Call my name. Mom, you need something? I know, I put it back. And we're back. And when I get back to this point, ladies and gentlemen, is I make sure I didn't roll over my cord, my headset, cord to my headset. Oh. Oh well. Anyway, but back to the point. I don't see any reason to get hype for these people to come back to these places, to come back. And I mean, it's not surprising, and here's essentially sports about this. The alarming drop on the fans' perspective. I'll put let me see if I get the show thing. Yeah, see, sharing the screen. Here we are. Here it is. It is, you look at here, and they look at this. Here it is. The right here. Right here, this is Twitter reactions. And I like the fact they actually, I don't know what they did with the Twitter stuff or whatever, but yeah, they put it up here. I wish it just took the picture or something, screenshot it, but whatever. And this is a recurring theme this year. Raw set again, but Raw, again, set a new record low in terms of viewership, averaging less than 1.6 million viewers. Ratings-wise, the show stayed steady compared to past weeks, and all 3 hours were in the top 10. It's like those WWE ratings, pathetic. 1.5 or 3 hours. Yeah, it is. Because it's another all-time low rating for WWE Raw. If you don't see what the problem is at this point, there's no hope. Women's Revolution has killed your once proud business. Wow. This says saying that's the women's revolution. Some say it was a women's revolution that pulled that off. I doubt that. I don't think it was part of the women's revolution. But the one thing people have this the anger for. The one thing is like the way they have pushed the women. They said it's a women's revolution. I'm like, really? And the way it was just handled. They just shoved them on the car 5 years ago. I said, women's revolution now. I'm like, no, it takes years to build this up. NXT built this up. When they were in NXT, they built it up naturally, and it built it up in a very, consistent way. Raw and Smackdown, Raw for the most part, they're just like, they're here. That's the issue. They never really had a sustainable stuff like NXT has for the longest time. And it just seems like it was just a switch in everything, and it's not really consistent. Consistency. And also, like I said previously, they didn't look when you look at what's happening is mainstream MCU character, all the stuff, DCU, all the stuff, superheroes, men, women doing these weird costumes and fighting monsters, demons, and evil business people or whatever in suits and armor, having these great knockout, drag out fights. I'm like, at any point in pro wrestling can be, that's perfect. And I hate the fact that Lucha Underground was the only show in this entire era. And tell me if I'm wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Point to me where's the lie is. That Lucha Underground and Impact, they copied it for the most part. The only show, Lucha Underground was the only show that was right there, that had that pulse. They were the only ones. They were the only ones. Find the lie. Find the lie I'm telling. If you can't tell me, there is no lie there. So the show didn't, that was in the show, where the show is now. Look, it was issues, contract stuff, but For 4 seasons, they captured everything, and it was, hey, El Rey, I liked El Rey. I do. Some of the stuff that they put up is good, but it's not a mainstream channel. I truly think if this was a mainstream channel, Lucha Underground was a mainstream channel like USA, TNT, or anywhere else, they'll be still in business right now. They'll still be in business. Because they understood and looked into what wrestling, their own mythos, their own heroes, their own villains. Who in the hell in WWE is that type of? And I'm like, and it's frustrating because WWE can't pull this stuff off. They can have that live action comic book, but they can't do it. It's goddamn frustrating. They say they want to be this worldwide wrestling, and they're not. I'm I'm fluxed. This is it's amazing how they continue to miss the point. They keep doing it. And here's some other things. It says this. I love this. TNA/Impact Wrestling was doing way higher ratings under Vince Russo than current WWE Raw. Let me just see if I can get the pick here. Is this true or not? Because if it is true, that's gonna be really sad. Oh my gosh. Oh, well, let me just say. Let me see if we can stop it. I think this is right. Oh, honey. Oh, oh no. Oh no. They were right. This man was right there. Look at this. Vince Russo had higher ratings with Impact Wrestling when higher wrestling, higher stuff. And there it is. It's just right there. There's the facts, ladies and gentlemen. There's facts right there. And you can't deny that stuff, man. You can't. You can't. You can't deny that. Let's see. Let's go back here. So here. Alexa Bliss. I don't know. Maybe, but that's just again. It's another patch. It's another band-aid to another bullet hole. No, and here's the thing. Is the pandemic, people say, oh, it's the pandemic, it's COVID-19. No. Look what's going on for these past years. Like I kept saying, 2015. Look at this. Past 5 years. 3.5, 3.1, 3 million, 2.8, 2.41. And now it is a significant drop. It's just fast in the process. Ladies and gentlemen, wrestling and most importantly, Monday Night Raw, it is now, this is what happens, ladies and gentlemen. This is what happens when you follow the niche. This is what happens, man. You know what? This is, ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when you follow the niche to, this includes when you follow to the niche of fans. This is what happens. You might not lose it today or tomorrow, but look at this. I want you to look at it and have it burned in your memory. I want this burned into it. This is what happens when you follow the niche. When you become a niche of a niche. It doesn't matter who you put up as champion. It doesn't matter who everything else. This is what happens. Pro wrestling, WWE, AEW, Impact, all the stuff. When you follow the niche, look what happens. Look what happens, man. And don't go, AEW, and no, let me tell you. The combined people of watching AEW and NXT, and I put myself in the AEW corner. The combined is 1.4, and that's not really enough anywhere, man. It's not enough. Wrestling has gone far into the niche. And I don't know, someone needs to talk to these people. Hopefully, maybe Tony Khan or anyone else or anybody, someone needs to tell them, going for these indie guys are not the way to go. Some might make it, but they need to do some change and something big. Because if you are going to continue following the niche for the niche for the niche, you need to do something. You need to do what is necessary. You need to actually start putting these people up. You need to start. You need to actually start to really look at what mainstream is. I know people, you might not like it. I know some people in the indie stuff they may not like it, but it's fact. You can't keep just sitting around and doing all this stuff. You can't keep sitting around going for the niche and such. Screw that noise. The niche is over. If you want to keep doing it, go right ahead. You're going to be down to 0.4. You're going to be going down to 0.5. And let me tell you, even if you can get back to people, at best, you get maybe a 2.4. At best, maybe you get back to 2 million. But nah, wrestling fans need to hear this, man. The companies need to hear this stuff. The niche is what is killing you. It's killing you. The wrestling niche is killing the entire business, going for that niche. And I don't get this. I don't get this idea, this suicidal idea that the answer to all of this, the answer to all of this, ladies and gentlemen, is just to, we'll get some indie talent. We'll do some. No, it has to change the entire needs to change, all right? It needs an entire shakeup. One person, one guy or gal are not going to change this. You need a structural change. And I hope someone gets it through their heads that no, the niche stuff is over. It's over. It is dead. The niche needs to die. I keep repeating this because I need to put this to the head. The niche needs to die. They need to. And it's for wrestling's own self, man. It needs to die. It needs to die, ladies and gentlemen. It needs to. I know most people won't like this. I know I'll probably get downvoted or whatever. I got 3 likes. I guarantee you it's going to probably get a lot more less likes. So I don't care. I don't care. But people need to hear this, man. If you don't, guess what? Wrestling's going to be like, oh, I used to watch it. Yeah, it used to be good. It's going to be on some, whatever, man. Wrestling needs to stop going for the niche, man. Stop being, stop holding itself back. You want to see superheroes. People want to see larger-than-life characters. The best time in wrestling and everything else, even from the 80s, 90s, or any type of, they had characters larger than life and defined roles as well. The people from Glow have more. Every one member of Glow is more defined and more interesting and more charismatic than 95. This is back in the 80s. Well, are more charismatic than anyone on the WWE roster, male or female. And I said it. I don't care. Because that's what it is. There's no charismatic wrestlers. And if they are charismatic, they're not put in the light to be charismatic. They're not actually, there's barely a time to actually have them connect with the crowd. And when they do connect with the crowd, they completely get like Bruce. I am still pissed at this, man. Rusev. Let's see. Yeah, Rusev. I'm. You know, I look at this. They made. I am beyond pissed off. And look, I want to look at this situation here in Ringside News. It's the same story that we've seen so many times. The Rusev Day faction, they tried to organically. They had Rusev Day was big. I'm like, screw it. Why couldn't they have him win the Royal Rumble that year? Rusev versus Brock Lesnar would have been money. Would have been amazing. Instead, though, what the WWE doing? They split them up. Of course they did. Exactly. So it started to come to creative just about looking at ways to try to get away from it. One, Lana had to come back into the picture. I mean, she came back on Smackdown or whatever it was. This is from again Rusev that inning. Yeah, Rusev. Yeah, I mean, Aeneas tried to come back and try to fight for this, man. They all tried to. So they were trying to find ways to incorporate her selections, obvious thing, just cooperate them. Like have a little mini group. What's wrong with that? Build to it. In fact, honestly, the mixed match challenge, I was like, hey, having her win her first match, that was pretty cool. I liked that. They had great chemistry. In fact, most of the people in mixed match challenge, they had a little bit of fun. And that's why people liked the show and everything. Honestly, to me, with Asuka and Miz together were great together, and I liked it. It was fun. And I'm like, I sit there watching that show. I'm like, they got their personalities and everything cared, and I'm like, why is the WWE does this to their stuff? Why do they keep doing this to their own stuff? And then time they kept the mixed match challenge and everything else. They were like, it was great to make this stuff. They could have done something. They did that. Eventually, sometimes we'll go to places. So yeah, of course it keeps going. They did it. They went go directions so bad. We argued and kind of pitch our point. We wanted to keep running as long as we could. But at the end of the day, the powers that be are the powers that be. And they saw different things for Rusev and different things for me. So time to go in that direction. It is not the way I would have had a split, but sometimes you make your fight, you make your argument, and you make your pitch. At the end of the day, you do what you're told. And I sit there looking at this. I am not surprised. They ruined it in the most God, every time. Every time WWE has these ideas and they completely crap on them. It's amazing. I remember how they broke up the whole Rusev Day team and made it look like the most pathetic thing ever. Then Rusev gets, I don't know, they have a divorce angle, and I'm like, God damn. They screwed up Rusev Day. For what? Because it got him over. God forbid your guy gets over and then you can actually make money. I'm like, I don't get this about wrestling companies. Why are you going to stifle people who actually are doing things? They're making you money. They're making you money. They're making you they're making you money and connect with the crowd. Instead, screw it. Screw it all. Just screw it and just put the bland and mediocrity there. Because that's what WWE does. It's the brand. For the longest time, they put the brand up. I'm tired of this, man. I'm tired of this stuff, man. I'm tired of this stupid stuff in their own way. WWE, all of them, every single one, they put themselves. I mean, I know AEW is trying to do something different and everything, and I appreciate that, but it's WWE's the head of the honcho. They're the head guys. I'm just tired of this, man. I'm tired of the same stuff. I'm tired of this because you know what? The breakups of Rusev Day, all this stuff. You know what it leads to? It leads to this shit right here. Look at it. Look at this. All this stuff. If they would have built the talent, got connections, made them large in life, that stuff wouldn't happen. This stuff would not happen. But now here we are. In fact, the only time let me tell you, the only thing I watch WWE Network for is only for the old stuff. Why the hell would I watch new stuff? Why the hell would I watch anything new for WWE? It's all gonna be peak package crap, and quite honestly, I'm sick of this stuff. I'm sick of it. I mean, that's it. That's the only thing is I use WWE for is just looking for the old days, looking at the pay-per-views, looking at stuff that actually had the crowd going. How cheesy. I'll take RoboCop and WCW was more engaging and interesting than anything WWE has done in the past 5 years. Oh, the ratings just prove it right here. Tell me then. Find a lie for me. Find a lie. Because look at this. I'm just pointing the truth right here for you. Laying you right in your goddamn laps. And I know that people are not going to get this through their heads. But you know what? So this right here. This. Look at this rating. Look at it. Look at it. What more can I say? You know? Jay-Z, the old rap lyric Jay-Z once said, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. What do these numbers tell you? What do these numbers tell you? Again, arrogance, not letting people get connecting with the audience with something they have, and just going for the niche of the niche. That is what kills WWE. Hell, that's killing AEW. That's killing wrestling. That's killing pro wrestling in the North in right now. Not going for actual things that actual people will connect to. And it's always going to be this way, man. Until there's actually going to be a shakeup. And I don't see that happening anytime soon. You can tell this is just a happy thing right now because I'm all angry and everything. But I know I'm doing basic tropes, but this is right here. It's frustrating. Hear my voice. I'm frustrated because this company could be doing so much more. They could be doing greatness. Instead, they're just stuck in mediocrity. WE is just plain mediocre. WE is plain mediocrity. WE is just plain stupidity. It's not even fun stupidity. It's just the annoying stupidity. You just look and say, why should I even watch this stuff anymore? Why I should be doing better things in my life. And I haven't watched a full WE product in pretty much. I mean, after WrestleMania and all the other stuff, I just stopped watching the full shows. I barely watch any full shows now. I don't watch them. Again, the only thing I do watch is the old stuff on the WWE Network, and even then, I've been slacking on that. Oh man, I'm frustrated. I just want content, good content. Is it too hard to ask that, ladies and gentlemen? Is it too hard to ask for good content when it comes to WWE? That's all I ask, man. All I ask is just good content. AEW's doing at least the barest minimums for it. WWE can't even give me that. WWE can't even do the barest of minimums. They can't do it for whatever reason. And I'm tired of all the excuses. I'm sick and tired of it. I want to. And the comments are open, man. Comments are open. Leave them up there. I want a good reason for this. You can't put the pandemic on this stuff here. You can't point to pandemic for this when you look at the drops here. I want a good excuse why WWE can't get people into it. Get people watching Monday Night Raw. I want someone to give me a good excuse. Right there, comment section is wide open. Because if you can't get me, I mean, that's right here. Men lie, women lie, fact, numbers don't. Look at the numbers. Can't BS this way. I want to see y'all try. Go ahead. Now, you know what? I'm going to end it here, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry, the show will be back on next Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Hopefully, if talk show and all this other stuff happen. But yeah, we're gonna keep it moving. Don't worry, live stream will be on Saturday. Not Saturday night. Saturday night. Oh yes, we're gonna get back to the World of Xenoblade Chronicles, and hopefully you can join me there. I did my first look into Internet Access. So far, so good. Hopefully, I will get through that this weekend as well, so I can finish this and do the Ratchet Quake stuff, and and hopefully have time to do to finish up and do the review, and then get back into some wrestling, some good wrestling, which I'm gonna be looking up Slammiversary and doing that. I'm tired, guys. I'm tired of this stuff, man. I'm sick and tired of this, man. We deserve better. They deserve better than this, all right? I'm done. I'm done with WE with the BS. And I've been done for a long while. And it's like the people are just leaving and people just moving on. And in their own stuff, man. They need to get their head on straight. They need a whole shit system shake up. If they don't get the system shake up, this number you see right here in front of your screen is going to get even lower. I'm not lying. Tell me, where am I lying? That's it. That's the show, man. I want it to do better. I want the show to do better. Right now, I don't see it. Anyway, it's Dukect here. Peace and love. I'll see y'all when I see y'all later.